Hey everybody, CAD Roll Hunter back here again, and today we got a box of Canadian customer wrapped dimes. Hey folks, this is James and you're watching my channel CAD Roll Hunter. That's right, I got 50 rolls of customer wrapped Canadian dimes, with the exception of a couple here that are machine wrapped. They say Coin Canada. I'm not sure if these are ARP or if these are bank wrappers or what these are, but we'll see what's in there. Of course, we want to see if our silver streak will continue. We are on a 2-box silver streak between our last quarter box and the last dime box. So we're doing really well. We want to see if we can keep that up, but we're looking for anything else we might find, errors, varieties, anything cool. Let's get into these dimes. Before I do, don't forget to give this video a like. I really appreciate that. That helps me out a great deal. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, CAD Roll Hunter, please hit that subscribe button and be alerted when I've got new videos coming out. I have new content coming out all the time. Okay, let's get in here. Roll number 1, we're off to a good start, but there's something else we want to look for here, of course, are these commemorative Blue Nose 2021s, and we got one in this first roll with some color. That's awesome. Roll number 3, and as I do, I always check the edges before I lay the roll down. In this case, I can see a couple edges. We've got a US edge here where you can see the copper there. We've got what could be an older silver edge. It also could just be like a newer dirty coin. It's hard to know. We've been fooled before. It's not the bright silver edge, but so it's probably not silver, but we'll lay it down. We'll take a peek. Okay, we can see that edge, and it's definitely not a silver dime. You can see it's definitely got some really odd toning. It looks like a heavily tarnished silver dime, but I don't believe that it is. It's got the P composition mark, which means that it should be multiply plated steel, and that's probably the case. If I lay it down and get my magnet out, we can tell for sure it's not some sort of a limited edition silver dime. It's not at all. Okay, well, we know we've got an American in the back here, so we may as well take a peek and see what that is. Well, I got you here. And this one is going to be a 2005 out of Denver. That's our first US/foreign coin of the box. Roll number 4 is going to give us something to look at. I have a 1980 under the scope, and we want to check it to see if it's the wide date or the narrow date. The easiest way to tell on here, I think, is if the holes, so to speak, the negative space in the 8 are just completely round, you've got the common wide date, which is what we have. You can also tell if the tail of the 9 is fine or curved up like this. This is the common wide date 1980. Not a bad looking coin for 1980. Not necessarily, well, it might very well be a keeper. You can see that's actually pretty nice. I'll see if I can get that gunk off the back. It's got a couple scratches, so maybe we'll think about it, but we'll put that on the board as a possible keeper. Same roll, and I just flipped it over. It is our first 2021 Blue Nose commemorative, and we'll set that aside. So we've got one of the color under sale and one of the double date with the standard design. We might find more in here. Of course, we found a lot in our last hunts, and we got a lot of rolls to go through. Roll number 5 is going to give us a really nice looking 1993. That's in great shape. Same roll, and we got another nice find. This is a 2017. This is the Wings of Peace. So that's a bird, sort of stylized maple leaf wing type thing, creature. But that's a good find, and it's in really nice condition. And just at the end of that roll, we're going to have a couple Americans we can see here. So this appears to be a 1999 Denver. So we'll add that to our board, and then just a little further back, it just sort of spilled out. This one is a 2006 Denver. Roll number 6, and we have now found the third in the commemorative Blue Nose collection. So we found one of each so far. This is the non-color version of the Blue Nose under sale. Same roll, we got something interesting here. This is not mint damage, that's for sure. Somebody looks to have tried to like punch a hole through this 2013, perhaps? 2013, and they weren't successful, but they heavily damaged it. An interesting one for sure. Roll number 7, we got a 1968, and a pretty nice one at that, but you know that this is a transition year. Some dimes were minted in silver and some in nickel, and we're going to do the magnet test to figure out what we have. And what we have is a common nickel 1968 dime, but you always got to check just to be sure. Roll number 9, and this is our first machine wrapped roll, and I'm bringing you in because we found another 2021 commemorative Blue Nose in just gorgeous condition. Same roll, and there's a pretty nice looking 1983, and we'll set that one aside. That's a good find. It's in pretty good condition, almost uncirculated, and it almost looks like it's got a little bit of frosting on the Blue Nose, but I think that's just the light. Same roll, we've got another double date commemorative, this one from 1992. This is the 125 years of Confederation. Roll 11, and we're finding more of these Blue Nose commemoratives. This is our fourth with this design, so we're doing pretty well. I'm hoping to see if we can find some more color, though, which would be really cool. Roll number 12, another 1968. It's got the look of nickel, but we're gonna find out for sure, and it's stuck to my magnet, as you can see. Roll number 14, and we've got ourselves a pretty nice looking 1972 with a good strike, and not a whole lot of wear, though it does have a little bit of gunk, but still has some luster on it. So that's kind of a cool find. Often I find that these are poorly struck and are in terrible condition, and that one's pretty nice. Roll number 15, and we're going to have our 10th American dime of the hunt. It is just a 2010 Denver. That's probably par for the course. We find lots of American dimes in our Canadian hunts here. So I expect we'll find a lot more, but I'll pull you in if we find anything interesting. Roll number 20, and I'm finding some nicer 70s and 80s coins in here. This is the nicest one so far, a really nice looking 1986. Roll 21, we've found a few of the double date 2021s in this roll so far. I didn't show you those, but I bring in because we got our second color version of the Blue Nose under sale. Really cool. In that roll, we also got a really nice looking 1991. And just a bit further back, even more color. Awesome. And same roll, we got a nice 1989 as well. Roll 22, we're going to get a find in here. We've got a foreign edge, an ender. Now, that I couldn't see that ender. That was the sealed end. And we've got at least one other American. It looks like it might be newer. So let's find out what we got. Okay, our ender is going to be a Mexican coin. And it's quite a bit thicker than a dime. It is from 2016. It's 50 centavos and fairly decent shape. But you can see a lot wider. The rim is very different. And we had an American in there. I think I can see it peeking up, so we may as well take a look there too. Let's see what we got. This one does look new. It's a 2011 Philadelphia. And here is a 90s or early 2000s coin that looks to be in really nice shape. There's no mint mark or composition mark. This one is another really nice 1991. Roll number 25, we're at the halfway point. I've got another 1968 here. I've already checked it, it's nickel. But there are a couple of varieties that we can look for. I've pulled it up. It'll be a little hard to see here, but in 1968, some Canadian dimes were minted at the Ottawa Mint, and some were actually minted at the Philadelphia Mint in the United States. And the only way to tell the difference is because the mints used their own collars. So the collars held the coin in. And what you can see on this, if you look, is the reading here is the Philadelphia reading. So they're square notches. It's hard to see. I can't really get a better view of it here. I can try to see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. There's square reading on here as opposed to V notches is what we would see on the Canadian ones. The easiest way to see. So that notching is essentially the same as on the Philadelphia minted US dimes. So the best way I can show you is on here where we can see that it is very squared. You can see there's definite square notches in there. So they're both fairly common in the nickel composed dimes, but it's a variety you can look for. Roll 26, we're going to have back-to-back US dimes. There's a 1998 Philadelphia, and then right behind it, there's a 2015 Philadelphia, both in pretty good shape. Roll number 28, and I've got another 1968 under the scope. Again, it's nickel. And this time, again, it's going to be hard to see, but when you look at the reading on the edge and you kind of sort of see the shadow of it, this time you can see that the reading is shallower and is V-shaped. So you can very much see the V shape in that reading on the edge. And this is the Ottawa minted dime. There's a bit of controversy with the Ottawa and Philadelphia minted coins because Canadian legislation requires that any Canadian coin minted anywhere other than the Ottawa Mint needs to have a mint mark. And there was no mint mark on these Philadelphia minted dimes. I don't think there were any real repercussions of that. We can see from the edge where it was minted, but it did contravene Canadian law. So just a little interesting historical fact. Roll 29, and we'll have a couple of finds in here. First, we've got the non-color Blue Nose commemorative, and this is minted, of course, at 9 million, so it's pretty low mintage compared to the typical issue. And then we'll have another one back here because I can see some color, and this one here is minted at 6 million, and that's a beautiful coin. Roll number 30, and we've got a couple of interesting edges here. So we've got a US, you can see that copper ring, but the one right beside it looks like it could be silvery, but it's hard to tell because, as you can see, there's some variation in some of the colors on here, but we'll take a look and see if we've got a silver streak. Okay, I've laid it down, and this actually looks pretty promising. You can see that edge there, and it's a 1963. We indeed have silver, but I don't think he's even the one that I thought it was. 1963 Laureate portrait, silver in the box. We're on a 2-box dime silver streak and a 3-box streak in silver totally. That's actually awesome. In 1963, wicked. And at the beginning of that roll, we've got another one of these double date Blue Noses, and it looks just fantastic. I'm setting this aside. I still don't have mintage figures on these. I'm assuming they are less rare than the color and non-color Blue Nose under sale because I'm finding more of these than the others. And maybe I'm going to say about 50% more than the Blue Nose non-color. So it's possible these could be minted at 12 million or so, but they could be much, much higher. I'm just not positive. Roll number 31, we're going to have our 20th US dime. It's a 1996 out of Denver. So that's 20 so far in 31 rolls. Roll number 33, we've got our oldest US dime so far. It's a 1965. That's just 1 year off 90% silver. And have a look what's peeking out behind this really nice looking 2020. It's another colorized Blue Nose commemorative. This one will be our 5th of the box. Roll number 43, and check out this gorgeous 1989 we got. This one is in wonderful shape. That is a keeper for sure. Roll number 47, we got another 2021, but this time it's a US dime out of Denver. Roll 49, and we've got our 6th colorized dime. Same roll, we'll make it number 7. Roll number 50, and a quick edge check tells us we're not going to get any silver unless it's hiding in plain sight. So we'll see if we get anything else, and we'll come back with a wrap-up. So that 50 roll dime hunt is complete, and we'll just go through quickly what we got. We got 29 US dimes, which is maybe a little higher than my average. The oldest one was in 1965, just 1 year off of silver. Too bad. Maybe next time. We got this 50 centavo from Mexico, the only other foreign that we got. And then in terms of our Canadian finds, we ended up getting 30 of these Blue Nose double dates. I probably am not going to keep any of these. I pulled them aside the last couple boxes. I have a couple of rolls. So it seems that these are quite common. They're probably not worth me holding on to, although they are beautiful dimes. We got 16 of the Blue Nose under sale regular version, and we got 7 of the colorized. I will hold on to those. So we know the colorized are minted at 6 million and the non-color at 9 million. I have to expect that these ones are minted probably somewhere at twice that. So we'll see. I did also pull out a bunch that were sort of better than the average for the year. There's an 80. Oh, there's a 72. So we're a little bit out of order here. There's another 80. We got an 88, a couple 89s, a couple 91s. We got what is that? I can't even read it. Probably a 95. There we go. And a 2017. And actually, that earliest one is actually a 68, which is why I pulled it aside. Much better than we normally find. Our best find of the box, though, was a Laureate Portrait 80% silver Canadian dime. And in this case, it is a 1963. Always great to get silver in any of your dime hunts. That's what makes it worthwhile. That's one of the things we're looking for. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, CAD Roll Hunter, please subscribe now. I've got new videos coming out all the time. Always glad to have you join. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.